I have received death threats and
Death threats?
I mean, it's I'm not surprised because people are just so adamantly pro-abortion.
Well, we're at the City of Toronto Courthouse, and this was the first appearance earlier this morning of Jordan Hunt. Jordan Hunt is that person who has, well, basically become famous, or infamous, I should say, on the internet for doing that karate roundhouse kick against the person of Marie-Claire Bissonnette. Now, Miss Bissonnette's crime was she was at a street corner peacefully protesting against abortion. Jordan Hunt took exception to that, and the video, of course, shows him kicking her right in the shoulder. Now, what happened earlier today is that his court appearance is now being pushed forward to December 12th. We're going to come back to that court appearance, of course. We've waited here for more than an hour for Jordan Hunt to come out. It looks like he's still hiding in the courtrooms, maybe until the sun goes down. So we're going to have to try and get him on December 12th. And it's too bad, too, because I wanted to ask him why he did that kick. I wanted to ask why he has yet to apologize to Marie-Claire Bissonnette. I want to know what his family thinks of his actions. And I want to know if he thinks that if somebody has a contrary opinion to what you believe in, violence is the appropriate response. But those questions will have to wait. Thankfully, we have the victim of his cowardly attack, Marie-Claire Bissonnette. She's standing by, and she's going to talk to us to give her thoughts on the aftermath. Well, I'm with Marie-Claire Bissonnette. She is the lady who was kicked in the torso by Jordan Hunt on September 30th. Marie-Claire Bissonnette was just carrying out a peaceful protest regarding abortion at the intersection of Bloor and Keele. And tell me, Marie-Claire, can you bring us back to that day? What exactly transpired? Why this individual decided to kick you the way he did?
Well, he came up to our demonstration and he was obviously upset about what was happening. And so he began to take out markers and draw on the signs. And then I warned people to shield their signs. And he began to draw on the backs of 5 people, including a 10-year-old girl. And so, which prompted me to take out my phone and begin to record him.
And by the way, what was he drawing? What were those markings about?
Oh, they were just scribbles.
Oh.
Yeah. And I began to record him. I went up to him, and then you can see the video commences. He's upset that I'm recording him, and I tell him that he's breaking the law. And he challenges me by giving me the scenario of a pregnant 16-year-old from rape. And I begin to answer him, and during my answer, he positions himself. He kicks me. He kicks me in the shoulder. My hand goes flying, or my phone goes flying, and then I started yelling for someone to call the cops. Someone comes to call the cops, and before he runs away, he grabs a ribbon off my chest that was pinned there, and he runs away.
And by the way, folks, this is not a matter of he said, she said. It was all captured on video, probably an infamous video that went viral by now. Let's run a clip of that right now.
Think you should keep it?
It's a baby. If someone was raped and she gave birth and she decided to kill her 3-year-old child.
I meant to get your phone.
Someone call the cops.
Meant to get your phone.
You know, this is very interesting, Marie-Claire. In the aftermath of him kicking you, there's almost this, situation going on where he's claiming to be the victim, like, oh, I just meant to hit your phone. I didn't mean to hit you. And I just thought it was such a display of chutzpah, of unmitigated gall, that he's already, basically depicting himself as the victim because his kick allegedly missed the intended target.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, whether he kicked my phone or he kicked me, it's still a case of assault. Obviously, there was more injury because he kicked my person, and he shouldn't ever be kicking women or anyone in general. So it's kind of there's no point to saying it. But.
And as it turns out, this wasn't the first time he has assaulted somebody with the anti-abortion movement. It came to light once he was identified that he had done another incident similar to this.
Yeah, I actually received a video of him pushing a woman into the oncoming traffic who was holding an abortion sign. And the person who sent it to me just wanted to confirm if it was the same person. And so I said it looks like him. And so he is charged with that as well.
If you were to see him face to face and he's in the courtroom right now, what would you like to say to him?
I probably wouldn't want to speak to him at all.
Understandable.
But I do hope that he realizes what he's done is wrong, and that I hope that he changes and becomes a better person.
And Marie-Claire, in the bigger picture, we see, especially on the behalf of the left, I have to say, acts of violence against those who espouse different opinions, different mindsets. While the left is all about diversity, when it comes to a diversity of opinions, they're not really down with that. Do you find this a troubling trend, the idea that if somebody is saying something contrary to what you believe, he or she is therefore a Nazi and it's okay to punch a Nazi?
I think it's a very troubling trend. We're moving further away from what has created such a just society, our Western society. Freedom of speech is not valued. People don't realize the value of logic and the value of discussing things. And for right now, the liberals, the media are all left-wing leaning. They all support abortion and just a lot of things that seem to denigrate our society, and so they feel entitled to be violent towards those who oppose them. And I think this is just going to continue unless our society begins to change.
And Marie-Claire, has anyone to this date, as part of the feminist movement, reached out to discuss this with you?
No, not that I know of. No.
I wonder why that is. I mean, this is, talk about the bailiwick of a feminist, violence by a man against a woman, and yet they're AWOL on this issue.
Yeah, it's definitely shocking. Although I'm not very shocked. I think just the feminist movement. I mean, first wave feminism you can take for granted as everyone just holding those views, and so it's almost redundant. Second wave feminism, though, is based in Marxist values, and it's created on the backs of, or it was created because of the pill, or it was enabled because of the pill, and just reproductive rights, etc. And so they are very, very much espoused to abortion. And so I think that they can sacrifice one of their women for the sake of not shedding light on the abortion issue.
It's quite amazing that they'll fall into the support of a man, even a man who acts violently, if he's of the similar mindset. One of my dear colleagues, Sheila Gunn-Reid, she got punched in the face in Edmonton at a women's rally by a guy too. And instead of the woman there condemning him, they were running interference for him. I mean, I find this absolutely baffling.
Yeah, it's shocking. It kind of makes the point that they're more in favor of their ideology rather than the women themselves. So
They've kind of missed the plot, right?
yeah. They're there to support the ideology, and if women have to suffer because of their pro-women ideology, that's fine.
It's just staggering. Also, the lack of media coverage about this, aside from a reporter with the Toronto Sun, we're the only media down here. I mean, I'm wondering, where's the CBC, and the others? Do you find that kind of funny as well?
It's unfortunate. I don't find it surprising. I sent the video to the CBC first, along with an op-ed, and I gave them the option of breaking it. They refused to do so. I then later sent it...
I did not know that. That's fascinating.
Yeah. I then later sent it to them. After the video went viral, I sent a different op-ed. I said, this is unique. It's from me. You have 12 hours to publish this. And they refused to do so.
And I wonder, Marie-Claire, if you were a pro-choice woman who got assaulted by someone that was, against that movement, flip the dynamics upside down, maybe they're rushing that to air.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It would definitely be a different story if I were pro-choice.
How do you like your tax dollars at work with our state broadcaster then?
Yeah, it's Definitely biased, completely, yeah.
Amazing.
Also, there's a lot of support for him from the pro-choice side, so perhaps he's embracing that and just saying, you know what, I just have to take one for the team.
And you're telling me people on the pro-choice side are supporting this guy?
Yeah, they are. They've supported him through social media. They're also sending me hate mail. I have received death threats and
Death threats?
I mean, it's. I'm not surprised because people are just so adamantly pro-abortion, and they think. Actually, someone referenced my late grandfather and how evil he was because he was also a pro-lifer. So it's just it's very, very telling of the philosophy that these people espouse, which is violence towards those who are inconvenient.
And it used to be, if you have an opinion one way or the other and I have a differing one, we can get into a vigorous debate. We could choose to ignore each other. But this idea of acting in a violent manner to physically, and brutally shut somebody down, I don't think these people understand the ideas and concepts behind freedom of speech and freedom of expression in the first place.
Yeah, no, I don't think they do. And I think they just feel justified because they think they're right, and they see people who don't support abortion as equal to racists or slave drivers or Nazis, etc. And those people have already been publicly. They're already known to be evil in the public, and so they think, well, these people are the same. We don't have to justify our position. We can just attack them.
And it also incredibly diminishes the atrocities, that the Nazis did. If you think somebody has a contrary opinion, makes that person a Nazi, and calling him or her such, it totally diminishes, like I said, what the Nazis actually stood for. So again, they're missing the point. And one last question: what makes you so adamant about being against abortion that you would stand on a corner and potentially encounter this kind of terrible abuse?
Well, I do believe the science when it says that it's a human being, and I'm of the philosophy that every human being should have human rights, and I can't believe that I'm unfortunately in a society where it's not only promoted and allowed, but it's funded by the hard-earned tax dollars that I hand over, and so I don't want more babies to be killed by abortion. So that's why I would stand on a street corner.
Well, Miss Bissonnette, great to meet you. Sorry what happened to you, and hopefully in the weeks ahead, justice will be done in terms of your assailant.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey folks, the Rebel has a new app. Please download that app and take the Rebel with you wherever you go.